Mississippi on the move. Let's go.
Deep in the delta where the willows grow, in the soil stained by the blood of my ancestors. Punch bowl voices call out to my soul for justice. The wicked will reap what they've sown. The spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the delta kept it alive. Time to stand up, take our place in the sun. Understand the time and what must be done.
Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Sip.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields await the wide awake man. Elijah's got the master plan.
Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Sip. Injustice, we've had enough. All of our divisions we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now, Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Sip. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi on the move.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you, and welcome to another edition of the Mississippi on the Move podcast. I am your brother Abdul Shahid Muhammad, and I will be flying solo tonight, and my brother's on assignment. And we are so happy to be back before these microphones. Please allow us to begin in God's way, because the scripture teaches in all of our ways to acknowledge him, and he will direct our path. So we begin in the name of Almighty God, Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. We bear witness to the oneness of God, to the oneness of his prophets, and the oneness of the messages revealed through them. We greet all of you with the greeting words of peace, of Assalamu alaikum. Those words simply mean, may peace be unto you. Welcome. We got an exciting show tonight, or program tonight, as I like to call it. We got our brothers from down the street, about 36, 37 miles from me, right down in Holly Springs. Tonight we will have as our guest our brother Rodney DuvSac Lowe with the Marshall County branch of the NAACP. And we will also have our brother Antjuan Lester and his queen, Sister Rolanda Lester. We call Antjuan Twan G. I call them the heavy hitters of the Holly Springs community. They are CareNow. They are the CEOs. They are partners now, and they keep a lot going on positive in the Holly Springs community. That's who we'll be talking to tonight, and we will be discussing the upcoming 5th annual Martin Luther King Day of Service, as well as the birthday breakfast that will be happening early in that day. We got them on standby, and I see you all. You all are up on my dashboard. I see you, Antjuan G and Sister Rolanda, and my brother DuvSac. If you can't get on, just call my cell phone, brother, and I can patch you in that way, and we'll hear you nice, live, loud, and clear. But before we begin, we always use what I describe as axioms to guide our discussion, because this, in every discussion on the Mississippi on the Move podcast, is an important discussion. So we want to have serious talk here. And we begin with just some guiding principles from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, wherein he says, "He who gives you the diameter of your knowledge prescribes for you the circumference of your activity." So we want to expand the diameter of our knowledge, because the circumference gets bigger when you expand the diameter of your knowledge. And then he gave us the definition of a slave. And a slave is one whose power and authority is ruled over by another, and whose sphere of freedom is limited according to the wishes of his master. And somebody is always trying to rule us with their power and authority, but we need power and authority over self. We have to be responsible with our power and authority. Thirdly, from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we got my brother DuvSac on. Stand by, my brother. We got you on. Just stand by. Thirdly, from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we have, he says, when you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn, because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at somebody else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you're laughing and opening a way for your own demise when you do that. Because to laugh and not learn, to make mockery and to not understand, is to make the same mistake yourself. And I found one for our young people. I was perusing some information that I thought was good. And this one comes from a sister. So we're going to give a feminine side to some of our guiding principles. And our sister, may Allah be pleased with her, Sister Student Minister Dr. Ava Muhammad, in her book, A New Way of Life. She said this about the youth. She said, quote, "The greatest disservice Black people do to our youth and our children is to rob them of their innate belief that all things are possible. Children believe that all things are possible. This allows them to create the world they want for themselves. You rob your children of being able to create because they are born to live in a world you haven't seen." Man, that's powerful. So, brothers and sisters, we've gotten started. We, of course, want to get our announcements and commercials in on the front end, and then we're going to shoot right to our guest for tonight. So we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button, or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience the Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. theurbanindulgence.com.
What's your source for truth in news reports?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
No shoes. No shoes. No shoes.
Subscribe to the Final Call News. your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
Mississippi on the move.
Yes, y'all, Mississippi is certainly on the move, and we got some people that's on standby that's on the move in Mississippi. We want to welcome to tonight's program our brother Rodney Lowe. We call him the DuvSac. He's talking about hood reform, but he is the president of the Marshall County branch of the NAACP. We also have on our brother Antjuan Lester, and his wife, Sister Rolanda Lester. You all there? Y'all say something to me.
I'm here.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam. I hear DuvSac. I hear Twan G too. How y'all doing, brothers?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, bro. I'm for sure you can hear me. So you can hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, brother. We hear you loud and clear. First of all, wa alaikum salam, brother DuvSac. Man, let me first thank the both of you for accepting the invitation to be on this platform, the Mississippi on the Move podcast. And well, certainly this is maybe your first, and it certainly most definitely will not be your last time as guest on this platform and going forward. But first of all, I'm going to start with our brother DuvSac. Brother DuvSac, introduce yourself to our Mississippi on the Move podcast audience. We got people on. Oh, yeah, they're coming on, brother, and they're listening. But introduce yourself, brother DuvSac.
It's your guy from these backwoods of Mississippi. I go by the name of DuvSac, which means divine unity versus scandals against Christ. And I am presently current president of the mighty branch of the NAACP Marshall County Branch 53 team. I'm a part of the Mississippi movement, and I can't wait to get back started for this 2023 fiscal year.
Great. And my brother Twan Lester, what's going on, man? Give us an introduction.
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing the best I can with what I got, man. Excited to have the two of you on. Introduce yourself to the Mississippi on the Move audience, sir.
Oh, yeah. Like Bill said, I am Twan. They call me Twan G around here, but my name is Antjuan Lester. Town guy here in Marshall County. I'm just one of those ordinary guys. Just love my people, and we just want to see things done a little better, and just want to unite our people. And I'm a contractor. We residential contractors around here. I do a little bit of everything. I have a few cows. I run a little ranch, a little small ranch for myself here.
Yes, sir.
And just do my chores with my elderly people, get around, check around things, and I'm a local activist. So many hats here, but hey, the work we always working. So
yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And if Miss Lester is there, she's also welcome to introduce herself if she so chooses. I have learned of her. She stays quiet, but she be working it in the background and behind the scenes. So if she wants to introduce herself, she's more than welcome.
My name is Rolanda Lester, the co-founder of CareNow, who is hosting the MLK Day of Service, and also my profession would be a private caretaker.
All right. Look, man, I'm excited to have you guys on, really, and I've had the pleasure of being around you, working with you. I've been to Oak Palace there, the beautiful facility that CareNow and the Lesters have. It's an event center. They've been gracious and allowed us to use their facility. And I work with Brother DuvSac. He's a barber down there. He's on the move. And every time I look around, you all got something going on. So this will be a platform, certainly Mississippi on the Move podcast, that you all and all people of goodwill who are working hard in Marshall County and throughout the state of Mississippi to improve the life outcomes and the current quality of life of our people, to unite and see if we can just make a change for the better while we're here. And I think you all would agree with that. But let's get started for tonight, man. Let me begin with my shout outs. I want to make sure, shout everybody out. Thanks to our brothers and sisters all the way down there in Hattiesburg and moving up from Hattiesburg, coming on up to Greenville and Greenwood, and then over to Jackson. Then my brothers and sisters in Tupelo. That's where the Nation of Islam is present in those cities. And then, of course, in Holly Springs, Mississippi. But tonight, and of course, the live audience, everybody that's on, it's a lot of you. So I'm not going to go through all of the names. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. So I have a few questions. We want to start with you, Brother DuvSac. Tell us about what's coming up Monday, early Monday morning, man, that Marshall County needs to be aware and participate in.
We would like to invite everybody out to our annual MLK breakfast, sponsored by the local branch of the NAACP. That breakfast will start at 9 o'clock a.m. at the Multi-Purpose Building. With our guest speaker for today will be Andre Jones, who's a member of the NAACP, also a member of the Board of Aldermen in Holly Springs, a principal at North Panola, South Panola. I think it's North Panola. He's a vice principal there. So that's be our speaker for today. And that morning, we just started that morning off reflecting on the memory and in the spirit of Dr. King. We just gonna break bread with each other. Hear Brother Jones speak to us, address us, and then we go out to the MLK Memorial and do a litany, and then we go back to the square, which we would start our kickoff there with the parade and continue on throughout the day. I'm thinking to 5 o'clock for the MLK Day of Service, and I turn it over to my Vice President Antjuan G. He can tell y'all all about MLK Day, the celebration itself.
Yes, sir, man. I have taken off all day Monday, man. So I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be
it's an all-day event, brother.
From the prayer breakfast or from the birthday breakfast all the way through the Holly Springs Study Group of the Nation of Islam. We will certainly be participating. We've been fortunate and blessed to be amongst brothers and sisters. There's a lot of activism that people don't realize about Mississippi. Brother, tell us a little bit more, Brother DuvSac, about the activism that's going on in Mississippi. And then we're going to get to Brother Twan G and Sister Rolanda about the big day that's coming up Monday.
Okay. Well, just being a native here, being born and raised here in these backwoods of Mississippi, Twan and myself, we have always talked about the struggle and the plight of our people here in Marshall County. And our whole adult life as barbers, we sat around the shop and just discussed what can we do, what needs to be done. So I guess, God touched our spirits and brought both of us back here to our hometown. And since we touched down, we've been running for office and trying to make a difference in our community by replacing those shade tree politicians or those backwoods politics that we used to here in Mississippi, and trying to clean it up with some good folk who going in there with a positive mindset to try to move the city, county forward and move our people forward. So that's in Mississippi on the movement. We got 82 counties, and we represent Marshall, and hopefully the blueprint that we laying down here in Marshall can be used throughout the state because it's needed.
Yes.
And when we go out and we go to other cities and talk to other people throughout the state, things that they are encouraging us to get involved in is a blessing that we already got a foot or two in the race already doing those things. And it's only because the pressure is so hard on us here in Marshall that God made us move some. We couldn't sit back and just keep watching it, keep taking it. And so we had to stand up and do something. But I'm going to share this before I wrap it up, is that one thing that came clear to me since I've been president of the branch, our forefathers had a clear, distinct understanding of who their enemy were. There was no doubt in their minds. Here in 2023, the enemy is not quite the same. The enemy had 50-50 us, black folks, is in these political offices and not holding up their end of the bargain. They're not producing that environment that we talk about that's conducive to our people having to better themselves, to better their condition of life. They're in there just letting things go as they've been going, letting the circle just keep, letting the wheel just keep turning. And they're not trying to change the direction of the wheel. We're not elevating. We're not growing. We're just at a stagnated position here in Marshall County. So it's forcing like-minded people like myself and Antjuan and his wife and others that's in that branch to not only move as the NAACP, but in other entities, trying to move this county forward, trying to be a blueprint to other counties throughout the state, and really getting part of this Mississippi movement so we can connect with other like-minded brothers and sisters and go throughout the state and clean up the greatest state in the United States, which I believe is this Mississippi.
Come on, man. Look, man, very, very well said, brother. And you can certainly, by virtue of the fact that we have sought you out and want you a part of the Mississippi on the Move family, because when I say Mississippi on the Move, if you listen at that theme song, Brother DuvSac, I said the spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the Delta kept it alive. And his brothers like you and Twan G. So we're going to move to you, Brother Twan G, man. Tell us about the Day of Service, man, that's coming up. Down in the Holly is what I call it, man. What's going to go down? You and Sister Rolanda,
Yeah. Well, it's about to go down, but I heard you about to go down there. I know you drop a few bars here and there, Melissa. So yeah, but yeah. Shout out to everybody that's.
You glitched out, Brother Twan.
Can you hear me?
Okay, there you go. You're back. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, that doggone phone with the ringing. But yeah, man, we are expecting a big day. We're praying for good weather. We think we'll have some pretty good weather on Monday. Hey, MLK Day of Service, like Dove said, it's gonna kick off right after the litany, after the breakfast. We're gonna start it off with a parade. Gonna leave the Holly Springs High School. You still there, Melissa?
Oh yes, sir. We listening live.
The parade gonna start there from Holly Springs High School. Gonna go around the square, and then we're gonna have a festivities on the square with. We're gonna have food trucks there, and all food trucks, vendors, and a real nice program set ahead. You know, we got Oughta Be Well's grandson gonna be our guest speaker this year, and yourself, Mel's gonna be on. Brother DuvSac gonna have a word just from the NAACP. We got music, R&B, rap, gospel. We just did it for a grand day. You know, this is our 5th annual MLK, and we just been sitting around. You know, me and my wife was sitting around before we started this. You know, what could we do? You know, cause our community was so, it seemed like, you know, we was dead, you know, so to speak.
Right.
And we were struggling in many aspects of our lives, you know, and with the, with the heart that my wife and I have, you know, and people always calling us, leaning on us for something. And most time, all the thing, you know, we have is an inspiring word, you know. And so we just always want to do something. And we, as Dove said, as Black elected officials, as many we have here, and so-called leaders, pastors, and so on, we were doing nothing here to, just to lift the spirit of our ancestors, you know. And, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King was just, one. You know, we have local ancestry that we should be lifting up every day, you know. That's what we want to do. We want to keep Martin's spirit, but in the same time, you know, educate our people and try to move us through tough times such as these.
You went out again, my brother. Somebody calling you.
To unite. Can you hear me now?
Okay, there you go. You're back.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. We just try to use this event to unite our community and just try to bring some brother and sisterhood back to where our ancestry was, 50, 60 years ago. Well, way back, even before then. But like I say, we have history here from some local icons that we ought to be lifting up every day here in Marshall County, but we just use Dr. King in the spirit to lift our brothers and sisters up, you know.
Yes,
We think the event helps a lot of people. We think, you know, for the last few years, people been coming from all out of town, down as far as Virginia and South Carolina, you know. The people just passing through say they see a flyer, and so they just stop for a couple of days and wait for this event. And so it's been attractive as well. And, you know, our elected officials and leaders, and we have to go outside our communities most times, man, and get donations to put on such event, because this event is not free. You know, they don't do it. We don't have the stage and thing for free. So we just, you know, it's just grace of God that, you know, there is enough people such as you, Minister, and DuvSac and many others that donate to us to help us go, because we can't do this on our own. We got to have help as well. And, you know, y'all just two of the ones that we call on a lot, and we sure appreciate it.
Look, brother, the pleasure and the honor is mine to serve. And very well said, brother. We appreciate being afforded the opportunity to be a part, because we too agree with you, brother DuvSac and brother Twanji and sister Rolanda, that this event is important. It gives a sense of purpose and it's restoring that. I want to get sister Rolanda in here on this conversation. Sis, I noticed, as your husband alluded to, the flyer. And he was talking about that there are Mississippians that should be lifted up every day. And you have somewhat of a pantheon of faces. I see you have, of course, Dr. King. You have Fannie Lou Hamer. You have our great sister Ida B. Wells, where the museum is located in Holly Springs under the direction of our sister Reverend Leona Harris. And you have the face of our brother Alfred Skip Robinson. We knew him as Abdul Aziz Muhammad. Tell me, what was your thought behind creating the poster for this year? And it's just your 5th annual, but it is good every year, because every year I participated, it's been good. But what was your thought behind putting these faces up there?
That's just the fact that our community needed to be enlightened on our hero, our own hometown heroes. And a lot of people don't know that we have people like Skip and Fannie Lou from right here in Mississippi that did great things for us.
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to us. That's why I said in that little song that we did, I said, now Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. So
that's right.
So that's our theme song for Mississippi, in my estimation. And I'm so glad you all accepted this invitation to be on. We're going to get to a little bit more of these questions. Now, the march, where will the march originate? And for our audience, for those that are listening, because we want mass participation, and we certainly plan, the Holly Springs Nation of Islam Study Group, we certainly intend to increase our level of participation in terms of our attendance. We're going to have more of us out this year, and we certainly want to be a part of the parade. But where does the parade or march start, and where does it end, Sister Rolanda?
It starts at Holly Springs High School, which is at 165 North Walthall. Mm-hmm. And it comes up, I think it's College Street, and goes around the courthouse, but it leaves the high school, goes around the courthouse, the courthouse square, and back to the high school. So it's not all that long. And we're focusing on the crowd being right there at the courthouse, because the event is at the courthouse as well.
Right. Okay. Now, and I want to get into Dr. King's legacy. I have a brief excerpt from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan where he talked about Dr. King's legacy and why he was really assassinated. And I know, and being around you all, and as you just alluded to, Sister Rolanda, you're wanting to enlighten our people about things that we simply don't know. And of course, like I know, and having conversations with you all know, that when we get to Dr. King's birth anniversary, as well as the assassination, there tends to be a little whitewashing or some things that are left out about the legacy that kind of blunts, if you will, the spirit of what he wanted to leave to us. So I'm going to play this brief excerpt, and I want to get you all's thoughts on it. So just stand by and just listen in.
But in the last year of his life, you should read Tavis Smiley's book on the death of a king. And wait now. See, some of you are angry with me, thinking I'm trying to steal Dr. King's legacy. Hell no. Don't put that on me. And don't let the white man put that on you so you could put that on me. I'm raising Dr. King because it is wrong for you to think that that man died because he had a dream. That man was a revolutionary thinker in the last days of his life. Some of his inner circle turned on him. They didn't agree with him talking against the war in Vietnam. He was hurting that his own staff, some of them disagreed with him. Then churches denied him. They didn't want him in their pulpit. Now it's easy to put his picture up and talk that crap about how you love him. You a damn liar if you loved him. I want you to listen. If you loved him, why did you let the writers of history write him down as a dreamer and pacify you with all these streets and boulevards named after him? But if you read his life in the last 2 years of his life, he met with my teacher. They had a beautiful discussion, February 66. I don't know what they talked about, but I know my teacher. He loved Dr. King, but he showed him prophecy. He showed him where we are to separate from this enemy and not be integrated into him, as Moses didn't integrate the children of Israel into Pharaoh. So in that last night, when he said, I want to get the language straight tonight, he stopped talking Negro and began talking black. He even agreed that separation might be better for us for a while. Like a people sick or diseased, you take them out of the public and you heal them. And then you send them back to the world. I didn't know these were things that Dr. King was saying. And when I read it, I said, this man, you must know the reality of Dr. King.
Okay, man. You know, that excerpt makes me think of a couple of quotes from the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he said, one, that he feared that his dream had become a nightmare when it was interviewing him. And then he said to Harry Belafonte, he feared that he had integrated his people into a burning house. And another quote that we use as an axiom oftentimes, where when he talked about the crisis in American cities, when he quoted a man named Victor Hugo, who said, "If the soul is left in darkness, sins will be committed. The guilty one is not he who commits the sin, but he who causes the darkness." Then he said, "The white policymakers have caused the darkness. They created ghettos and slums and unemployment." But Dr. King, his language changed. So, and whoever wants to answer first, what can we do today to get that Dr. King, not the one that's essentially neutered, the spiritual fuel or the revolutionary fuel that many of us need to do what you all do? It's clear, DuvSac, that you ain't the brother that's lost on Dr. King. You, Twan G, neither are you, Sister Rolanda, by virtue of the fact you can look at the poster that you put together and tell that. What can we do, any one of you who want to respond in whatever order, to establish the reality of Dr. King, as the minister put it?
Well, I mean, this Twan G here.
Yes, sir.
I think we all, first of all, this is the way I was brought up with my parents. I go in prayer. I go in prayer. And when I come out, and one of the things we have to do is, and I think to that message that you just played, we got to put, not throw it away or not just abandon it, but put religion aside, or whatever affiliation or whatever organization or whatever. Put those things aside. If we can't agree on certain things, and remember at the end of the day that our skin is the same color, and that's what the enemy is coming up against, the skin of the color of our skin. And so I think to keep his spirit going, and I think that's what Dr. King was doing. You say he met with who he met with, and we all can learn something. My father always told me we can learn something every time, or whoever we talk to, you can always learn something. So sometimes it's good to listen. And so Dr. King, he met with the nation, and so we coming to common ground. He was able to see some things. Maybe the nation saw some things as well in King, and I know they saw something in each other because they met, and so
that's right.
And so I just think we got to move as one unit, regardless of what's our affiliation, if we down for our people, and separation. Look here, separation may be the key. It probably is the key. Until we get ourselves together, then I just say we set them back into the world. You and I can handle it, but everybody's not up to that level, so we just have to go down to their level and raise them up. So, but that's part of my take on it.
Man, beautiful, beautiful, Brother Twan. All right, who next? Don't matter what order. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, yeah, he's on.
Yeah, I just thought Sister Tasha was gonna speak next.
Oh, is Sister Tasha on? Hold on, let me see. She sure is. Let me unmute that sister. Sister Tasha, you there?
I am.
Sister Tasha, you down? Tell the people where you from, Sister Tasha. I want them to know who this is. Sister Tasha, share your take. I mean, you're welcome to the platform too, sister. What are your thoughts on what you heard, and what can we do to keep the real Dr. King before, particularly our young people?
Go to work like we are. What I want to say is that Rolanda and Tasha is the same person.
Oh, okay. That's got to be the same person. Okay, because I see Tasha on my.
That's what I put as the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Rolanda Tasha,
Yeah.
go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, see that you learn something every day, don't you?
Yes, sir, Brother Twan G. Learn something every day, man. Go ahead, Sister Rolanda Tasha. Tell us what's going on. How do we keep the real, authentic, organic Dr. King before our people, and particularly our young people? Because they don't want young people to inhale the real man and the spiritual energy of him.
I say keep having the events that we're having to enlighten them so that they will know.
See how short and sweet sisters are? Just keep doing what you're doing. And I have to say, Sister Rolanda, between you, Twan G, and definitely Brother DuvSac, I've sat and talked with all of you at length. And let me also send a shout out to our brother Dale Keeper DeBerry, as I call him, in the Buffet Talk program that he has every Sunday, trying to keep before the public information that we may make informed choices. But I certainly agree with what you just said, sister. So I'm going to move out the way and make room for the Dove, because I know he coming. He coming like Dion, he coming.
Brother, you put so much pressure on me, I tell you. But due to the fact that I couldn't hear Twan nor Rolanda, but I guarantee you I agree with them.
Yes, yep.
I guess in my take on that is continue to do what we're doing here on this platform and all the platforms that we have created to use to inform our people, to educate our people. And and as well as Twan them know, I'm big on hood reform. So I think we need to continue to reform our people by educating them with the facts. We know the spirit, and we need to continue to connect with like-minded thinkers and continue to push that real spirit out there, to continue to uplift our true leaders and not let them water them down, and not to even put no kind of shade on Brother Martin, but they have also put that spotlight on Brother Malcolm and trying to tell us how to respect him and how to honor him, and knowing damn well they hated both of them.
Come on.
And to me, as I studied the history, when Martin and Malcolm began to merge and become one, and to understand each other and respect each other and say, hey, we got a common enemy here and a common goal, that's when they both was assassinated. So we got to be mindful of that. And while we out here on the trails, in the trenches, trying to keep them dreams alive or keep those spirits alive of Brother Aziz and other warriors, not to be divided over the little things that our enemy might throw at us, and keep a level head at all times, and just push that spirit that we know that got Martin taken out. And even the first spirit he had unified us. The first spirit that he came with united us and made us want to stand for ourselves and have some type of moral pride or moral compass when we out here living our lives. And that latter spirit was more of that black nationalist spirit. And Twan heard me say plenty of times when I studied our people and our struggle, it seems like toward the end of the 60s going to the 70s, we had two type of black people. We had integrationists and we had black nationalists. And all the black nationalists like King and Michael and all those got assassinated, put on drugs, or locked up. Yeah. So the integrationists won, and that's what we have today. As our politicians, as our leaders, as our teachers, we have these integrationists. They are happy with the present state. They are okay because they are excelling. But the people, the mass of our people, are still in darkness. So I just want to, I guess my words would be continue to encourage our people, continue to inform our people, educate our people, reform our people, and don't get weary in these trenches because it's not going to get any easier. Especially here in this great state of Mississippi, where we are fighting these two-headed monsters of old-fashioned, good old boy white supremacy and this new black integrationist movement.
Come on, man. Look, I got to set it out for you all, man. Y'all hit that, knock that out the park. And those are the kind of minds that we need in the great state of Mississippi. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan loves Mississippi. As a matter of fact, we had our prison reform gala there on December the 17th of last year, just a few weeks ago. And he came to us via video message. And another part of our work in Mississippi will be dealing with the prison problem, because I'm sure you all know that, boy, somebody working back there, man, in the background. They got it going on. Let me see here. Nah, that's Twanzy. I know.
I believe that's DuvSac. That's DuvSac, I believe.
What y'all cooking and pouring ice? Do what you do, man. You know, do what you do. But
you can hear that, brother.
Loud and clear.
I'm trying to get some refreshments in here.
You try to get it in. I hear you. Ain't nothing wrong.
I apologize. I apologize.
Sir, no, sir. You don't have to apologize, brother. Just get it in, man. The people can hear. We in Mississippi, and we black folk, and we do what we do, man. So,
brother.
Yes,
brother,
sir.
I get real passionate when I speak about our struggle, and I got cotton mouth, so I had to get some refreshments. I do apologize.
I already know. I've sat and talked with you at length, and I see the light that come up in your eyes, brother, when you talk about our struggle. But as I was saying, you all know about the prison problem, your parchments, and how brothers were dying in the prisons down there in Mississippi. So that's part of our work, and definitely the youth, which is the next part that I want to get to. But before we get there, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to take our break and do our commercial announcements. And I'm going to have to mute y'all as we get ready to go off. But for a minute, but we'll be right back after our commercial announcement.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience the Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. theurbanindulgence.com.
What's your source for truth in news reporting?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
No shoes. No shoes.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button, or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
In a universe built on the law of truth, we must understand that any world built on other than the truth has a very limited time to stand. Can't you see the economy is getting worse every day? And we are back live at the Mississippi on the Move podcast as you listen at a little bit of my stuff there, Brother DuvSac. That's called On the Wall. But we're having a good discussion about the upcoming 5th annual Martin Luther King Day of Service that will be taking place in the great state of Mississippi, down in the beautiful little small quaint town of Holly Springs, Mississippi. We are looking forward to it. We will certainly be a part of it, and we are certainly thankful. So everybody that's listening, all of the surrounding cities and towns like your Red Banks, far south as New Albany, if you're not busy, make sure y'all come on up now and be a part of what's going on in the Holly, as I call it. So we're going to move to I want to get into Heal the Hood. We only got about 10 minutes left here. Now, I didn't want to get out of here because, Brother DuvSac, you mentioned that, brother, and I've talked with you about it. You've shown me some of the things, and it's right in line with our study guides that talk about self-improvement is the basis for community development. I'm not Heal the Hood, but hood reform. I apologize, brother, for misstating what you're working on. But, brother, tell us a little bit about hood reform. I think a lot of people need to know about that.
Hood reform was a vision given to me in 2020 by God. I was trying to figure out what do we need to do about the inner city, or as they call it, the inner city ghetto and the hoods. And he put on my mind that we need to reform. And it's a 7-point program. I'm not gonna bore you guys with all 7 points, but the first one is finding a close personal relationship with God, not religion, not a building or church, but with personal. You and yourself, and look in the mirror and do a self-evaluation of self and reform yourself from top to bottom. How we deal with each other, how we deal with family, how we deal with drugs, how we deal with politicians, how we deal with life. And we just need to reform ourselves. And that's the goal I'm pushing. That's the mission we on here at Black Wall Street. Not only is hood reform a movement, but it's a album. I recorded a rap album, and then my thing on that was because we need hip hop reform. If rappers can get on an album and talk stacks, bricks, be this and kill this on every song, then I can get on there and talk hood reform, Black Wall Street, Be Your Man March. I can talk some real talk on every song, and I'm challenging myself and others.
We lost Brother DuvSac, man. I heard that, and then I'm gonna call him right back. And he was in mid-sentence. We can get him back on. That's easy. So everybody just stand by. Hold your horses. We're gonna be okay now. It's all right. It's all right. It only takes a quick dial, and here he comes. He gonna pick up. But
can you hear me now, brother?
Gotcha, loud and clear. Continue, brother.
Okay, I'm back.
I told you he was coming back, y'all.
Hey, the enemy of the devil be trying, but he is definitely a lie, as my Christian brother say. The devil is a lie. I'm back on here.
Yes,
yeah, but hood reform, we just got to reform ourselves. We cannot continue to point the finger at others, other races. We cannot. I don't feel we can continue. It's easy for myself, Antjuan, and other representatives of the NAACP to get on a stage or a platform and talk about criminal justice reform, talk about police brutality, but we rarely most black leaders try to stray away from attacking the hood. The hood need to clean itself up. Man. We cannot talk about Black Lives Matter when we kill 5 a day. That got to stop. I'm bold enough to tell us that we're wrong and we need to correct that. We cannot ask anyone to fix our problem. We got to look within ourselves and be independent and take care of ourselves. And that's some of the teachings I have gained from the nation. And I give all praise to Allah for giving us Minister Farrakhan in this day and time and our day of darkness we need right now. And I know he saved my life, so I use that same study, that same way of life, and applied it to hood reform. And like you said, when you look at the 7 points, you're going to see a lot of familiarity of the nation and other black movements in the past that they was trying to put forward in the hood to clean ourselves up, especially black men. I want to encourage any black man that's listening right now, please stand up. Our women are being soldiers. They are doing their parts. But we as black men are not doing our parts, the majority. We around here talking about we slaves and beg my pardon, but we street niggas. I'm a real nigga. We need to stop that. We need to clean that up. And I'm bold enough and passionate enough about my people to speak it boldly, candidly, with no hesitation, that we need to do something. The black man's got to stand up and be men and not players, pimps, gangsters, and street niggas.
Brother, well said, and I agree 10,000%. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan says it like this: we have to accept the responsibility to build our communities, because communities are no better than the people that live in them. To the degree that the people are not developed and underdeveloped to that same degree our communities will remain in that state. Sister Rolanda and Brother Twan, anything you all want to say about our neighborhoods in general? Because I know, Brother Twan G, you're politically active, and Sister Rolanda, she's always active with CareNow. I see the things you do. Brother Twan G, you all are always up to something. What is it that I guess I would ask you all? I asked him about Heal the Hood. We see the crime rate, particularly in Memphis, although I don't live in Holly Springs. I'm so close to you all. I'm a rock's throw away, less than 40 miles, about 36 of them. In Memphis, the homicide rate for black youth went up this year. More black children. We're talking about 17, 16, and 15-year-old children are getting killed, and we are the culprits. So what do you all say to the issue of healing our communities, particularly amongst our young people?
We have to start by, just like Doug said, we're going to have to, men, and all of us, men and women, because, we got some women now that want to wear the pants and the dress, and just being honest with you, but we got to look at ourselves in the mirror and gird up, you know what I'm saying? As you just stated, it's self-responsibility, and hold your own self accountable for cleaning up this community. And that's why I stay on the go. A lot of people, the people say, man, you always on the go, you heal your old area. That's what it's going to take. Because now if we had 1,000 here in Marshall County doing the same thing, I won't have to be those in this place. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mind, because there's a greater. I'm working for a greater calling. And so, but that's what we got to do. We got to walk these streets. We got to come out of them four walls. We got to come out those four walls that we go every Sunday or whatever we meet, Wednesday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, whatever we meet. We got to come out of those walls and apply what we received inside those walls out into this world. And if we don't do that, it's useless.
Come on, bro.
Watch TV, and so, we got many gifts. Everybody got, we got many gifts, and we got to use these gifts, but we got to educate our people, let them know that you have gifts. Everybody, God gives us all gifts, maybe some of one or two more than others, but we all have gifts.
That's right, bro.
But if we don't use it, it'll wither away from us. And so we have to come out of there and use our gifts, get into our community, because here in Marshall County, we finding bodies still, just randomly road, dead bodies, every other week we find something. So it just haven't been on the news here lately. See, but if we get into our community, these people will talk. We'll get somebody to speak, talk on these things, but we will not speak. And so, but people not comfortable enough of speaking, because they don't have anyone that they think that will protect them. People want to feel some type of protection if they're talking. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's what we all got to. We're gonna have to get back into. Even our police officers and leaders, we got to get into the community and talk to people and greet people and take the grocery in for the lady you see going down the street. Stop and bag them, take a, those are some of the things that I think that we need to do just to uplift our community and go, like Dove said, in the inner city. That's a lot of things and go off into that, minister, and we'll be here a long time talking about things that driving these, guns,
Right.
guns. Everybody think that they have to have a gun, which I don't care who have a gun, but at least we have to have training with those guns, and that's all it is. We'll train with them. We'll know what they're used for, So there's many things that we can do, but while this day I must work, that's when we do. My wife and I, we do what we have to do because the phone ring, and they call us because they feel that they could have hope somewhere, and so. I don't want to lose that, and so that's the reason we always on the go.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. We're at the top of the hour. Man, look, time has flown away from us tonight, and certainly, brother, we appreciate. I want to go ahead and get some quick last minutes in, but I don't want to leave the black woman out. I got to go to Sister Rolanda. Tasha. I didn't know her name, Tasha. You got anything you want to add, Sister Rolanda?
No, just everyone come out to the event on Monday. You will not be disappointed. We're going to have lots of giveaways, different resources, and of course, a lot of great Black history information.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Also, and we, the Nation of Islam Holly Springs Study Group, we are going to be there, and certainly we are going to be opening our doors on a regular basis, brothers and sisters, as Brother Antjuan stated. And you all know that we're known for being on the street corners and whatnot with information to inform our people, but we have to make a more collective, concerted effort in unity, operationally speaking, to be in our communities on a regular basis. In 2023, as you began the program with Brother DuvSac, I'm excited too, brother, to see what God holds for us. Not what I hold for me, but what God holds for me, because sometimes we don't even know what's best for our own selves. So we trust in him with all our heart, and we can't lean to our own understanding, because sometimes, brother, we be all in our feelings, and our mood can cloud our perception. So, brothers and sisters, we're at the end of a wonderful, wonderful program. We certainly thank everybody for tuning in. Let's give our guests a round of applause and thanks for them coming on tonight's podcast. And we got to give them that tag, Mississippi on the move.
Yes.
DuvSac, we're going to have to do a video for that, man, and I want to feature all of you all in it. But brothers and sisters, yes, sir, I'm serious now. I'm not playing now. We're going to talk about that offline. Brothers and sisters, we thank everyone for tuning in to the Mississippi on the Move podcast. And once again, we always leave you in the way that we came, thanking you. And God willing, we will be right back here next week at the same time, 7 p.m. for more of the Mississippi on the Move podcast. But until then, I leave you as I came before you with the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Mississippi on the
Let's go.
Deep in the delta where the willows grow, in the soil stained by the blood of my ancestors. Punch bowl voices call out to my soul for justice. The wicked will reap what they've sown. Spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the delta kept it alive. Time to stand up, take our place in the sun. Understand the time and what must be done.
Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields await the wide awake man. Elijah's got the master plan.
Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Injustice, we've had enough. all of our divisions we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The Spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now, Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi on the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. On the move. Mississippi. On the move. Mississippi. On the move. Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi on the